Hi, Bowie here. Before you hit the unsubscribe button, let me tell you one thing. The reason you think mid-Ogre sucks is not because he's a bad mid-hero. Don't let your past biases cloud your judgment here.
I am an Ogre. I'm not cut out for this.
Core Ogre might be the most misunderstood hero in this game. Everyone thinks of Ogre as this late-game Rasengan throwing beast, and sure, that's one way to go about the hero if you don't care about winning. Look at the win rate and also the items that Thompson is building on him. He understands that Ogre is a Chad. Ogre also fits the current beauty standards of Dota heroes. Thick boy with 3 Cs that can build Blade Mail hard. That's all you need in this patch. If a hero can build that and look good, he is probably gonna have a higher than 50% chance of winning. So let's get to the point. Why is Ogre misunderstood? His strongest power spike is actually in the early game. Max Ignite and level 10 talent is an insane timing. But it's really hard to use that if you're rushing a Midas and potentially doing bad in the laning stage as a result. Thompson only gets his Midas after Blade Mail and Soul Ring.
This is not fair.
And that allows him to surf on the good timing of the hero whilst still scaling later on. The thing about Ogre is that he's just too weird of a core. The spell casting build is nice, but it's way too hard to execute. His cast range is garbage, Ags cost way too much mana, and at the end of the day, the hero with his level 25 talent and the way Bloodlust works just screams for him to be a better tank / right clicker. I mean, you've seen the memes, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so how do you build this hero? Double gloves that give you right click and HP. This eventually becomes your soul ring. Tangles and a double branch. Your progression should be bottle stick, phase boots, blade mail, and soul ring. Against matchups where you think controlling runes is going to be hard, you can go soul ring first and then get the blade mail, it's fine. And after that, you're going to get your Midas into either Heart Octarine or Heart BKB depending on the game. Your skill build is also very simple. Bloodlust level 1 for the lane, Ignite, Fire Blast at 4, you're gonna max Ignite, you're gonna max Fire Blast, and you're gonna get the Ignite talent at level 10. The talents, very simple, go for every single one on the right side. 80 damage on a hero that gets 100 attack speed is just a given. 25 attack speed at level 20 might seem nice, but 30 strength is just broken. For 25, you always get the right side talent as well. End of Midas. This item deserves a full section because it's one of the core mechanics for why this hero is even remotely good. First thing to note, do not send any of your Midas components to you before you complete the item. You want that sweet cooldown to start running as soon as you get the gold for it. Be efficient. Also, be mindful of buying out before you die, since you're not going to be carrying your gloves of haste, so if you're going to die, make sure that you buy it. Always try to get the recipe in one go, since you won't be using the gloves, but if you're gonna die, buy the gloves anyways. Now that Midas has 2 charges, you can be way more efficient with how and where you're gonna use it.
I mean, this makes no sense.
Thompson rarely uses his Midas on creep waves early on, and there's a reason for that. Until minute 22 and 30, range creeps will give you less experience than all of the large camp creeps. By the way, never Midas these guys, they are the only large camp boys that you don't want to Midas.
I don't get it.
Alright, maybe it's a bit confusing. Basically, range creeps give less than 90 experience until minute 22-30. Every large creep from a large camp gives 90 experience besides the one that I just showed you. Until you are level 18, it's gonna be better on average to Midas a large camp with 2 creeps than a wave, because you're gonna get a better result on multicast and multicast 2x. If you can though, try to go for camps with 3 creeps past level 12, it's not the end of the world. Finally, once you're level 18 and you can X for multicast, make sure you're using it on a full creep wave or on mud golems that you kill the parents first, or on trolls, or you can drag 2 camps together so you can use the Midas to its full potential. When you're fighting with Ogre, there are 2 modes that you can turn on and off. Mode number 1 should be up when you're full HP and your team is nearby. In situations like this, you want to use your body to open up the fight. So you run to people, you tank spells, and you start the fight, even if it looks a little bit awkward. Mode 2 happens when you're lower HP in that fight. After you tank damage, your goal is to pretty much use Fog to constantly cast your spells from afar. Even though you just saw Thompson winning a fight with Ogre, I think this hero is way better at pickoffs than team fights. The easiest way to play Ogre is to just run to a lane with an ally and fight with them. Ogre, especially with this build, is awful at solo killing, but he has just enough lockdown and slow to kill most heroes with the help of someone else. This hero is also super fast thanks to Bloodlust and Phase Boots, so you're not really gonna lose that much time rotating. You just need to find the right balance between farming your Midas and taking engagements. In this clip, Thompson knows, for instance, he's not going to solo kill this Lion, but that's another way that you can take fights with Ogre. He has Illusion Rune for this spell, he has Blade Mail, he can bait a fight, he can do something that seems dumb, but because Ogre is dumb, it cancels itself out.
I suppose it makes sense.
Ogre is awful at initiating, so oftentimes, the fights are gonna look a bit wonky if you really wanna try and force something. But you can still do it if you know your limits well. If you're not convinced with this build yet, just look at Thompson going high ground by himself here. Not only this hero can soak damage, do damage, but when you go for the Chad right-click build, you also siege quite well. Something most mid heroes actually lack or struggle with. Maybe you're not sold just yet, but try one game out, and if you lose, tell your team D.Bowie sent you.